Welcome everyone to the Worst Fans podcast. I'm here with your co-host Rhett and Buck. Say hi, guys.
Hey.
Ooh.
And well, we have a couple topics to talk about today. A lot of stuff released. We have The Boys. We have Ms.Marvel, and we're gonna talk about Top Gun and Jurassic World. You know what? Couple of news going on there. And our final topic of the night is going to be once again Obi-Wan Kenobi. So let's get started with The Boys. Buck, what were your thoughts on the episodes for The Boys?
Oh man, the season came back so far with 3 episodes with craziness and a vengeance. It's crazy. I love it.
Yes.
It's not scared to go as far as it wants to go. That's what's great about the show, that I love how it relates to everyday politics and everything that's going on, and just make it 10 times more relevant with adding on these, superheroes and everything. That's what I love about the show. It's great.
Yeah.
And so far, without giving any spoilers away, because I know Red hasn't seen it, but yeah,
Sorry.
it's great. What they're doing so far, it's really good. Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
You gotta see it.
Yeah.
It's
Homelander again is a character that I feel is not talked about enough, because he does great. The actor who plays him, I forgot, he's amazing.
Anthony Starr. Yeah.
Anthony Starr. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
His name sounds like Peacemaker, sort of. Like, yeah, I imagine a comparable Peacemaker Patriot type.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Well, he's basically this version of Superman in this world, basically, but evil.
Yeah, basically evil Superman.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah, I mean the last 2 seasons of the show I've enjoyed, because it's truly just a parody of like superheroes that we know and love. I mean, so many different similarities, but like these last 3 episodes have been like, wow, like eye opener. Like, really, if superheroes were corrupt, like this is what we would see. Kind of messed up stuff.
Realistically speaking, if superheroes did exist, I could see the world reacting to them in that
Absolutely.
way.
Oh, and I love
how they act.
I love
that.
Giancarlo Esposito's character.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's
fantastic.
Oh, he's great. He's great.
He's Moff Gideon in Mandalorian.
He has some dialogue with Homelander that I thought was just a burn.
Yes, absolutely.
It was great. It was so good.
Yes. So if you get a chance to watch The Boys, watch it. Season 3 just came out. Don't watch it with your kids. It's very good. Do not watch this one with your kids.
Right, definitely, you have to catch up, because I think it's a show you really like.
Yeah, I think you would enjoy it.
It's not for kids, but you would really enjoy it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This was not for kids in the sense that if it's scary or gory. This was just not for kids because it's very inappropriate.
No, it's not age appropriate at all. Yeah.
Very inappropriate, but it's very good.
All right.
Ms.Marvel.
Ms.Marvel.
I mean, yeah, it came out today. 50-minute long episode, you know. It was actually, I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie. I was actually quite impressed.
You know, it was okay. I wasn't really looking forward to it, because looking at the trailer, I could tell this was not aimed towards my demographic. You know, it really is for, younger audiences. But I thought it was good. I mean, for what it was, it was very well made. The acting was really good.
Mhm.
I mean, everyone in the show, the cast so far, seems to be very. I mean, they work well with each other, so it was okay. It was for what it was. It was.
Yeah,
all right. I'm never gonna be looking forward to seeing it week after week. Like, oh, I can't wait. But yeah, it was all right.
I mean, it's more of a coming of age movie, you know. I mean, it's series, excuse me. But I mean, she's obviously obsessive about, Captain Marvel. This is why it's called Miss Marvel. You know, I mean, that's the whole stick. I mean, I was never a huge fan of Captain Marvel, like in the MCU. So hopefully they go a little bit more of a comic book route towards it.
Well, see, that's the thing. I've already heard that it's already kind of going off the rails when it comes to her superpowers, because apparently in the comics, I don't know anything about this, but the comics, her powers are actually
different. Yeah,
a bit different, and they're doing it differently here, and it sparked some kind of controversy. See, for us, I have no idea what her powers were or what she even means in this world. So
you know how I know? Because in the Avengers video game a couple years ago, they had her in it. Right?
Okay.
Character.
Yeah. Right.
She's sort of, I don't know how to describe it other than sort of like Mr. Fantastic.
That's exactly what they are. She's stretches. She's a stretchy person.
Which is like corny. Like there's no way to make that superpower cool to me.
No.
So I kind of look at it like, yeah, they've got to change it. So I think the what do you call it? Bleeding heart fans that are just stuck on it, I think they just need to get over it. It's like it doesn't look good on picture.
No, it doesn't.
You know, it's funny you say that, but I think the same terminology could be used for us when it comes to Star Wars, maybe, because it's like reversing that. You know, yeah, it sucks, but yeah, that's another topic altogether.
Yeah, for sure. Well, for Ms. Marvel, I mean, I personally kind of like what they did with her powers, you know, kind of make it a little different, a little more entertaining. I mean, I think the cast is all around great. It's got its funny moments, so you know,
it did have the comedy really landed in a lot of ways.
Yes,
you know, because you know how
it even landed for
with
Buck
when it's stupid. Well, because you don't like goofy comedy.
Yeah.
I don't like when it's dumb and not written well. And this was actually written very well.
I agree.
It was good. So
funny because Thor Ragnarok is not dumb or not written.
Okay, all right, Red. Okay, Red.
It's
Anyways, next topic. Top Gun on its second weekend.
Yep.
Probably had the best second weekend of any opening for a movie, which is great.
Yeah.
That means word of mouth is getting out there that this movie is really good. People are actually going to go see it a second time, which that's what I did. So I love it. I love it because this movie deserves all the credit in the world. I'm glad it's doing so well.
Absolutely.
So what do you guys think?
I mean, considering our last podcast, I think we all truly enjoyed talking. I actually saw it again too, believe it or not. It was I was impressed. I saw it with my friends and we were like, yeah, this is a fantastic movie. It's meant to be seen in the theater, which is why it's like I hear people all the way from come out. I'm like, no, don't wait for it to come out on streaming service. It's not meant to be a streamed movie. It's meant to be watched in a movie theater. I don't care if you don't have time, just make time to see it before it's not there anymore. You have to watch it in theaters.
Yep. I concur. It's a movie that has to be seen in the theater to actually have the full appreciation of it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
What are your thoughts, Rhett?
It's amazing.
I'm happy. That's awesome. I probably won't get around to seeing it twice, but I would like to. I wouldn't mind seeing it a second time. But that's great. I think it's awesome. I'm glad it's getting the due credit.
Yeah. However, a movie that's coming out this weekend that's not getting good word of mouth is Jurassic Park Dominion.
Jurassic World. Jurassic World Dominion.
I'm sorry, Jurassic World Dominion. Yes.
Jurassic Park 6, Jurassic World Dominion.
That makes me a little nervous only because the fact I hated the last one so much and this one is supposedly quote unquote the last one, which I doubted, but
as always.
I don't know. It could be good because now I'm going in with very low expectations. So maybe once I see it, I will actually like it more than I thought.
Yeah.
So.
It's gonna be this. It's gonna have those cool moments, especially when you see the old characters in our meeting, and you're gonna, for a moment, feel this wonderful nostalgia, and you're just gonna be like, "I'm here. I'm good enough with this alone." And then it's gonna get to some dumb story tropes, and you're gonna say, "This could have been so cool."
Yeah.
And it's just gonna get lame, and you're gonna see characters that you don't like and dumb. Yeah. But it's okay. It's gonna be fun. It's
funny because we're talking about that now, and we're expecting it. That's the thing. We kind of know that this movie is not gonna be like the best thing in the world. So I have a feeling for some reason we're gonna go into this movie and we're just gonna accept what we see and be like, yeah, that's pretty much what I expected.
Because my expectations are like real low.
And it's funny, they were low even before I even heard about the reviews so far. For some reason, like I got excited when I saw the trailer, and I was like, "Oh, this looks great." But I don't know why. As the months went on, it started getting really low, and I don't know why. Something told me, you know what? Don't be too excited because something about it just didn't feel right.
Yeah, I saw that one. I saw that one trailer, and I never saw another trailer again because I was just like, I'm not really that excited for it. I don't know what it is. It's another Jurassic World. No one really cared for the second one that much. I didn't really have a huge problem with the second one, but I mean, a lot of people did. And then as it kept getting promoted and like little mini clips, and then it's just like, I mean, it's gonna come out eventually, so I'm just gonna see it, and it is what it is. I feel like with the Jurassic World series, the first one is probably my favorite, and the second one is mediocre. But I feel like what they're doing with it is kind of what they did with the prequels in Star Wars, because when the prequels in Star Wars came out, first one was caca, second one was caca, third one was great. But
everyone's different on that.
But
I know, yeah.
what's interesting is that they came out with the Clone Wars, and Netflix has a series on Jurassic World called Camp Cretaceous.
Right.
And I actually really enjoy Camp Cretaceous. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually a very good show.
It too.
It has relatable characters. It has relatable dinosaurs. It has a very interesting story that you don't really see in Jurassic World. You don't even think about, like poachers of dinosaurs, for example. Like, you don't really think about that stuff. Yeah. So I feel like it's a area, or like research facilities or stuff, whatever. So like it's like it makes you like the world of Jurassic World more because of that show. Now, people have mixed feelings about it. They don't like the animation style, whatever. But like, if you just focus on the story, it's actually pretty good. So I hope this last Jurassic World really knocks it out of the park. But right now, my expectations, once again, they're still low.
Well, look, I mean, the main pull for this one is obviously because the legacy characters are coming back, right? So that right there gets me excited enough to be like, all right, these guys are coming back. I'm gonna enjoy at least their scenes and the fact that they're coming back for this movie.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
A little bit familiar.
We're gonna get Hayden back.
Yeah, I know.
You have to have a story though in the middle, and all we know right now is, well, the dinosaurs are kind of out there, and Baby Blue's baby is,
she got
lost,
captured by poachers.
This, so far in the trailer, it has one thing going for it. We at least know that the legacy characters all interact with each other, unlike another franchise, which not at one point in the new trilogy did they interact all three together at all. Ever. At one point, they blew that completely.
You're absolutely right.
I don't understand how they messed that up. So, yeah. So,
all right.
Well, so that's that.
We'll review that the next round. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have its own podcast on the whole Jurassic series as a whole.
Yes, that might be next week.
Like the Jurassic Park trilogy, where the first one was pretty dang amazing. Well, the first one is amazing. I guess compare that.
No argument from anyone here. That's always going to be the one.
Well, I guess then you look at the second one. I guess it was mixed. I wasn't a fan of Lost World.
Yeah, let me tell you, there's going to be the sequels. I think we're definitely going to hit hard on those because we have different opinions on the sequels, on which we like, which we don't like, much like Star Wars. But Jurassic World series is another one where we just don't see eye to eye on the sequel. Some of them are just like,
Well, we can hit on this on a retrospect, but I guess just something that was kind of a big deal was I read the book. I read both of them before The Lost World. After Jurassic Park, the movie, I got obsessed and I read the book, which, by the way, has so much more content than the movie. It's incredible. They still pull, like, Camp Cretaceous, a lot of that stuff comes out of the original books.
Yeah.
Like, the same ideas. The Lost World story is so different from the movie. That's what disappointed me. And that's where you get into the whole, versus the book and adaptation, and why, even though the sequel trilogy for Star Wars sucks, I didn't necessarily want them to adapt some of those good books, because then you get into that adaptation world of like, well, how well did they do compared to the book? And then you get people who read it ahead of time, and everything's out there to know what happens.
You're not wrong.
Back, I much would have rather them adapt the.
It's a good, in theory. I understood what they were trying to do, but it didn't work out. So they should have just gone with with the legends, because at least those stories were actually pretty damn good. A good part of it. So
All right.
Well, Jurassic World coming out this weekend, correct?
Yeah, this weekend. We're all going to see it this weekend at some point.
Yes, we're all seeing it this weekend, and we're all going to talk about it probably next week. So if you want to watch next week's podcast and know what we're talking about, go watch Jurassic World. So our main topic of the night.
Unexpected. Because we were going to have to.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, but this is too big.
We got to talk about this now.
Yeah, it's too big not to talk about.
This has become.
It's bothering all of us.
Yeah, this has become really a Star Wars letdown. To be honest, it's just Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 4. Let's hear it. What is everyone's thoughts on it so far?
It's starting to be the traditional Star Wars now. It's like, well, you get excited just to be let down.
Yeah. So episode 4 of Obi-Wan Kenobi was a huge disappointment for all of us. And yes, so why don't we start with Rhett? Why were you super disappointed with it?
Okay, well, I woke up to Buck already telling me not worth your time. Go back to sleep.
At what
Don't wake
time?
up early.
At what time was it when you text me? It was like almost 5, right? Or 5 about at that point?
I don't remember, but it was around the time I was supposed to get up.
Yeah.
And here's the problem: I had a power outage last night. It started at like I don't know midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning,
Oh wow.
and so I was like, I can't watch it. Like I usually on Wednesdays I wake up early before work to check it out. I was like, well, hell, what do I do? I was like, well, I'm out of power, so I can't watch it right now. And I think you said don't even bother. I was like, oh, this doesn't sound like it's gonna go well.
Yeah.
So I, just like we talked about with Jurassic World, when you go into it a little like, ugh, it's not going to be quite as bad sometimes. So let me go with sometimes we start with the positive. I felt there were moments that were quite Star Warsy, right?
Yeah.
I felt it was like a derivative of the Death Star sneaking around. Obviously, it was the same stuff. They even had the same little microphone from that 3PO had in the original thing. I liked Ewan with his lightsaber. Obi-Wan Kenobi, his way of using it, the style was pretty cool. I liked the undersea part actually because I thought that felt pretty Star Wars. It was a decent set. Can't think of much else. So, here's my main thing. We're at episode 4. We're already past halfway.
Yeah.
And we haven't gotten to the main bulk. Like we just had a perfect moment to like stop, reset, and now let's recharge Obi-Wan. Oh yeah, we did that. We did it like one of those instant phone chargers that you're good to go already. Like as soon as you plug it in, you're fine.
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot that should be going on, and it hasn't happened yet. So I know what that does. It crams the whole story at the very end. And we've seen that happen before. It's not great. So I guess that's like the bulk of it. I can go back. That whole Jedi tomb thing, I didn't understand it, I guess. So I just looked at it like, what the hell is this? Like, was this going to lead into the,
I mean, it's
sequel?
just what Inquisitors are known to do. They kill Jedi. They find Jedi, kill them. I didn't know they buried them there, but
They're just like trophies, I guess.
I mean, are they alive?
no,
Are they
they're
just
dead.
preserved?
They're dead.
I mean, a tomb really is just. I mean, I assume they're dead.
He said a tomb.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
does he know, or is it like, why would they keep him preserved? Like, where did that little youngling get killed? Where was his?
Yeah. I feel like the youngling is probably one of the first ones that were there because the only time younglings that were wearing there was when they were training, right? He was wearing like a training hat.
Why would they even have that? Why would they have the hat on there?
That's why it made me feel like a taxidermist. Is like, okay, do they stuff their kills and put them in a glass case?
They preserve them in sap, like in Jurassic Park.
That's what it looked like. Yeah.
They're mosquitoes.
If they're gonna show me that, I need to know what I'm looking at, or I can't get excited about it.
Bingo, it was Jedi DNA.
I mean, at least I thought they were at least gonna show us one Jedi that we knew, but really, I didn't know any of them.
Yeah, it was like, I think the first one, by the way, I think was a Bothan. Just looking at the species design.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Yeah.
Just because one of them was like a teacher, I think, from one of the Clone Wars
remember
series. They showed, but
in the beginning of the episode, near the beginning, the guy who was talking to Obi-Wan saying that you don't know what the Empire is capable of, and he was talking about his wife that I knew exactly what she was, and the Inquisitors found her. I think one of the women that Obi-Wan panned to was probably his wife, probably, but we don't know, so they didn't tell us anything. Possibility.
Wait, what was it?
Well, you mean the O'Shea Jackson, the guy who everyone thought was gonna be Quinlan Voss, right? That's what you're talking about.
What?
That's what. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Everyone thought the guy you're just talking about.
The guy that
you have not been watching.
The guy that
said that his ex-wife was like a Jedi and they killed her, so he knows what. Okay, him, that
everyone
character, that actor, everyone thought he was gonna be Quinlan Voss.
He looks like Quinlan Voss.
For the past week.
For the past week,
really?
Yes. No, they thought he was gonna be Quinlan Voss
because he made comments because they were talking about the racist comments for Reva's character,
right?
And he's like, "Wait till they see who my character is," or something like that. He was tweeting stuff like that.
Yeah.
And most of the main YouTubers are like, "Oh, this has got to be. We know he's going to be in here. This has got to be Voss."
He's looking like Quinlan Voss.
He kind of does, but I didn't. I think it's maybe. I mean, he doesn't look like the guy from Obi-Wan from episode 1,
or the guy from Clone Wars. Really, I mean,
if
the Grand Inquisitor doesn't look like the Grand Inquisitor either. So
if he dropped like 10 pounds and he had dreads, it's possible he could look somewhat like
a little yellow stripe right there.
It's not,
I guess, it's not out of the ordinary, but
it would have been a Disney way to do it. Like, hey, let's throw it in here. We're good off at a few characters.
Yeah. I didn't know he was supposed to be Quinlan Voss. I didn't expect that.
Well, that was the rumor, and obviously it was just that rumor. So,
if you remember, I don't know if we talked about this last week, but right when watching that episode, they said Quinlan Voss, and I was like, oh, I wonder if I should start casting this guy in my head. And the first guy that came to mind was Jason Momoa, because if
we talked about that.
Clone Wars,
well, that still could be the case. We never know.
felt like a surfer. Yeah, I guess it could be now.
I mean, Jason Momoa was huge to be Quinlan Voss. Quinlan Voss isn't that big, I don't think, but
he was in the comics. They trimmed him down a lot in
Clone Wars.
Clone Wars, yeah.
Is that whole thing still canon when he falls in love with Asajj Ventress and all that stuff?
You know, I really don't know. Yeah, it's supposed to be, right?
And I went and looked it up again because I did read that one. God, I can't found the name of it and I can't remember it anymore. Oh Jesus, whatever. But it was one of the books that was originally canon. Granted, they go and they throw their canon out the door, every time they turn. Their own canon,
this is when she gets the yellow lightsaber too.
Especially with this show. So.
Yeah, that's true. This show. I mean, listen, we don't know if the Grand Inquisitor's dead. If he is, he just retconned the entire Rebel series. I don't know. There's a lot of canon that's being messed with right now.
It's driving me crazy.
Well, personally, the episode was garbage, but there were some little hints and nods of other Star Wars stuff that I did enjoy. The Inquisitorius Tower, Fortress Inquisitorius, whatever, that place in a general, and they added the Purge Troopers, which Obi-Wan had an encounter with one, and there's ones that were behind the Inquisitor. Those Purge Troopers are actually from Jedi Fallen Order. It's the first time we see them. And the tower is actually the last area that we actually visit in Jedi Fallen Order. So it's cool that they nodded a lot at Jedi Fallen Order, but I mean,
in the end, led to nothing.
It led to nothing. Also, Rhett, I remember when you said that when Obi-Wan swims underneath and he goes into the tower, Cal Kestis does the same thing. So they kind of like
the same exact thing.
Kind of copied and pasted it from the game.
Same exact thing. And I think I could have sworn in the episode, because I saw it twice, one of the stormtroopers say that no one would dare try to break in here because it's like no one would dare because it's impossible. I'm like, that's not true. That happened.
It happened 5 years ago. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. I like the scene where Obi-Wan saves Leia out of the chair, because it was kind of neat. His lightsaber lights up and kills the stormtrooper, then it goes back down and he sneaks up behind the other guy. I was like, okay, he's getting cool again, kind of getting his mojo back. But we should have had a better moment of how that came to be, not just back to tank. You're good.
Yeah, I mean, when he was fighting off all the stormtroopers, like deflecting the blasters, and like it was good scenes. They were good. The first stormtrooper he killed, though, when he was saving Leia, it kind of looked like the lightsaber bounced off the armor.
I was gonna say that.
You saw that, right?
Yeah. It looked like one of those it almost like the lightsaber was kind of rubbery, like boom. I'm like, what is that?
It bounced off the armor.
Like, what was that? I'm like, what?
I didn't know that lightsabers were not, like, stormtrooper armor was not penetrable for lightsaber.
Apparently, they are. I had no idea either.
I mean,
because I saw it happened more than once. I think
did.
I did a double take. I'm like,
it bounced. It definitely bounced off his chest. It was very strange.
I don't.
What game was it? Fallen Order, where when you hit him with the lightsaber, it feels like you're hitting with a baseball bat, or was that Unleashed?
Force Unleashed.
Yeah, that pissed me off. Like, it's supposed to cut through you, like,
And in Fallen Order, they actually make up for it, because in Fallen Order, when he's cutting through a stormtrooper, that stormtrooper's dead. One slash, that's all it takes.
See a slice, right? Like that. I think they did copy that art. I like that. It was like, okay, you can see a slice down him. That looked pretty cool.
But the bounce, it was very strange.
He's just that weak. He's so old. He's like, even just bounce.
What was worse than that was actually. Well, go ahead. You finish yours, Poopy. You go ahead and finish yours, and then I'll go into my complaints. But
well, I mean, the lightsaber choreography was okay, besides the bouncing portion. The the Tala character. I think she's actually pretty cool. I don't mind her,
like her
for the most
character. I
part.
do. Yeah.
The one scene where she kind of is talking to the intercom. I'm just nitpicking at this point, but when she's talking to intercom and she's loudly saying stuff to Obi-Wan, and the officer next to her is kind of like, he heard what he said, right? Like, he had to have heard something. Why didn't he tell somebody else? You know, like, I mean, I'm sure that's why the other officer came, but it wasn't very obvious. You know, like, he was still sitting there,
right?
Like, he was still kind of like, and then she kicks that other officer's ass, and then kind of he just lays there, and it's just like, no one notices. Aren't there cameras here?
Yeah. There's so much room for nitpicking. There was that. The whole like hide Leia under the trench coat.
Oh,
hey, we're gonna walk. And it's like
that's the worst part. That was the worst part of the whole show. Oh, it's like Solid Snake hiding under a box.
It's so painful to overlook that scene.
They should have the sound effect. Oh, I better see a TikTok of somebody pulling the and then you get the question.
You get the exclamation point.
Yeah. Oh, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be memed a lot.
Oh, hell yeah!
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got to make a good one of that.
You know, in Skyrim, when you level up the sneak ability, it goes dun, dun, and then it's like a little thing that'll be Leia when she's hiding under the trench coat.
Yes.
Yeah.
How about Reva taking on the blaster fire from the snowspeeder?
Oh,
like no problem. I mean, it was kind of her weak sauce. Like,
yeah,
sorry, it's choreography. It wasn't her fault. I'm not calling her a bad person. It's the way they directed her and shot her.
Yeah.
She's like, effortlessly hitting these things, and it's like that isn't just a stormtrooper's blaster. That's some pretty heavy caliber weapon.
That whole scene was just bad though.
Yeah, it looked horrible. It looked really bad.
It was
horrible.
Easy.
It looked so bad.
Quality. Yeah.
I mean, also in the beginning of the episode, didn't they say like they weren't soldiers and like those ships were like used for sewage or something to that effect, right?
It's the beginning of the rebels, right? They're not rebels yet, obviously, but it's
I guess you are soldiers now. I was like,
yeah, after she said, I'm like, that's
you were shooting at the Empire. What do you think you are?
That's a shitty thing to say. You're soldiers now.
Hey, let's give a shout out to our homie Wade for losing his life and the importance of his life, which we know nothing about, but they really concentrated on. Here's to Wade.
Here's to Wade.
Poor Wade. He was a sanitation guy, just like Finn, you know?
Yeah.
Just like Finn.
More infrastructure.
And
so how about our boy Vader? What do we think of this?
The best part of the show. I thought he was gonna kill Reva. I really was.
No, it was the best part, but he didn't kill her.
He didn't kill her.
I was like, oh, okay.
Do you know how like impulsively Vader has killed people before? Like in shows and comics and everything.
That was my issue. That he was in the last episode, he was so quick to kill those innocent villagers to bring out Obi-Wan, but yet Reva lets these people go. Obi-Wan was there and she lets him go, but he's okay because she put a tracker on it. I'm like, yeah, but they were there.
They were right there.
And she let them go. That's like, dude, I don't get it. Whatever, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Vader. Like, what does Vader ever let anyone live, really? Except for unless he's playing with them, unless he's toying with them or something. You know, like.
So, and you see the fifth brother. Like, I know he's corny as hell, but I was feeling his emotion in that moment because you see him like.
He's like, what the hell?
What the hell? Like, what else do you need? Like, Joker.
He was loving it for a minute too. He's like, yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
But what about what's funny is, to me, it's just the last episode, I guess we're going back. We haven't really talked about any of these episodes too deeply, but the very last episode with the whole fire and what stopped him from going after Obi-Wan, there's that. Yeah. But he let him go. And there's a little talk the last week, a lot of people came to it. And I think the best idea I heard was, he wanted, instead of getting Obi-Wan, it wasn't that he wanted him to fight him weak. It was that, hey, you know what? If you just go right ahead, I'm going to catch right up to you because we're going to track you and we're going to find your little Jedi ring. And then I'm going to take care of it. And he literally just walks away like, well, guys, they're probably just around that hill, but you want to just roll out? Let's go. We'll go. And I'll get mad at somebody for this later. So then when she does it, he's like, oh, wow, underestimated you. It's like, did you underestimate? You didn't think to help yourself out when you saw him a minute ago, just last week on the last episode? You just let him go.
Yeah. I mean, and he said himself that Obi-Wan's the only thing that matters to him. But
Obi-Wan's all that matters.
Obviously not.
No,
Because
this path matters more, apparently. The path.
I don't. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Like, I
what's
don't know.
left? I mean, there's
Well, that's my main issue with this whole episode, and like, I'm sorry, I keep calling our brother Boopy because that's what I call him. So if you guys are confused by that, I'm sorry. It's Marco, but
It's
I call him
Marco.
Boopy.
It's my
So I don't
family
want you guys to
nickname,
be
and it's just
confused.
it
Yeah, it's his
happens.
nickname.
Don't
Yeah.
worry about it.
So yeah. So see, here's my thing. Right, going into this episode, because last week I stressed that I wasn't too nuts about the episode. A lot of people liked it, which I understood. But I wasn't crazy about it. But I thought we were gonna get into the thick of it in this episode.
Yeah.
It was leading up to it, and I thought that in the very beginning we see Obi-Wan in the back of the tank, and we see Vader as well. They're connecting. You tell they're feeling each other's pain, and it was gonna lead into what I thought
Was
was
a
going to be
Clone
the
Wars
sweet
flashback.
flashback, a Clone Wars flashback. I think most people thought that because a lot of videos I've been seeing, everyone thought that was where we were heading. No, we didn't get that. Instead, we concentrated on Leia being kidnapped for the second time in a 6-part series.
Two episodes on rescuing Leia.
Rescuing Leia.
Two.
Okay. And Obi-Wan is all of a sudden getting rejuvenated, getting his powers back. And I'm like, how is it that what he went through in last episode so traumatically, and he just like he bounced up like nothing. Hey, all right, I'm good to go, man. I'm feeling the old feelings again, getting the force back. Let's do this, baby. What?
He went from also in on the ship right after he backed the tanked up, and he's trying to play with the little thing on the desk, whatever that object was. He's like, oh, I could barely push
He
it.
could barely do that, and all of a sudden,
Barely do it. Takes these two hands almost, and then
yeah,
he's in the water tube, like I got
holding
this.
Yeah, that's
holding it up.
straight up.
Oh, and by the way, I'm going to deflect blasters with this hand while holding that.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I thought,
I
are
don't
you
get
back?
it.
Are you back to old Obi-Wan? This is
Yeah.
cool.
And then what makes me sad also is the fact that I understand, I agree with some of you guys where you're saying about the good things that happened, but honestly, I think the bad things were overpowered any good that was in this episode because that's all I could think about.
Yeah.
And what has me concerned also is the fact this is the 4th episode. We only have 2 more left, and I'm starting not to. I don't understand why Disney and all the creators actually hired Hayden to come back because we have not seen him do anything. We saw one little screenshot of him in the desert in episode 3 when he was posing like a Backstreet Boy, and that's it. He has no lines.
Yeah.
So why bring him back just so he could be in the Vader outfit so we could know it's him in the Vader outfit?
I don't even think
when
it's
he
him in
has
the
no
Vader
dialogue?
outfit.
I'm not even sure it's him.
I don't think it's him.
I mean, you see him in the back of the tank all scarred up, but that could be anybody in makeup. You can't really tell it's him.
I think the back to tank. I think the back to tank is him, but I think when someone's in the Vader suit.
I know it's him, but what I'm saying is they could have gotten any actor and put a bunch of makeup on, and we would have been none the wiser for it. Like, okay, I mean, why bring him back if you're not going to have any use for him? I'm guessing the last 2 episodes are going to do something with him, but I just feel, I mean, 4 episodes in, and you've done nothing with him.
You think the last episode?
It's like knowing the way they do it, they're just dragging it out. We're gonna
dragging it out. Yeah.
I think the episode we're gonna get next time is gonna be the one that anticipates the final thing in episode 6. But I don't think it should be that way. I've talked to you about this. When you really start looking at how a 5-act story, I guess in this case is 6, but you really have the big conflict in the 4th act, and the 5th is resolution. It's like, well, now this is the repercussions of what happened. So think about like Game of Thrones. How many seasons where the big events happen, not the final episode of the season, but the one before it, so you can process that and have time to figure out, okay, now where do we go from here? And then you wrap it up. I mean, even when all this is done with Vader, Obi-Wan's still got to get back to Luke. We got to see that, and we got to see where he is at that point so we can know how to pick up when we see Obi-Wan again.
Yeah.
You're telling me we're gonna start fighting Vader in 6, get him back to everything's gonna be resolved, get him back to Tatooine, and get to where we're supposed to be with Obi-Wan before A New Hope. It's a lot.
Honestly, I thought they would be smarter about that. I thought they would add Luke and Owen more in the series than they have.
Yeah.
The fact that they haven't like at least gone back to what's going on with Luke shows some kind of like something that's important to the story. So we know that Obi-Wan leaving is a horrible thing.
Yes.
something.
Yes.
They haven't
I hope
shown
Luke is
anything.
burnt right now to a crisp because Obi-Wan left his
Yeah.
ass. That's what
Yet we're
happened.
concentrating on Leia being kidnapped twice.
Yeah.
Like, what is
I
going
mean, even
on?
when we were on Tatooine with Obi-Wan, we got visions of what's Leia doing in Alderaan. Like, we saw Leia without Obi-Wan. Why can't we see Luke without
Right.
Obi-Wan? Why can't we see something without Leia and Obi-Wan? Like, give me.
Maybe they all thought we were going to stay on Tatooine. They're like, divert expectations again. Let's show them what they didn't want, what they didn't expect.
Like, they have, and also they've been teasing this whole thing with Qui-Gon the whole time. Nothing.
We're gonna get that tiniest right before the end credits of episode 6. We'll hear Qui-Gon say,
"We're gonna get a voice." That's all we're gonna get.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a New Hope and Luke Skywalker in the X-Wing, and then Ben going, "Use the Force, Luke," and then that's it. That's all we're gonna get. It's gonna be Qui-Gon though.
I guarantee you, he's gonna come back for a second if he comes back at all, just to tell him that there's still good in Vader, and he needs to get it out of him. That's it.
Try again.
That's all we're gonna get. And I have a feeling the next episode, because Reva is getting so much screen time, and she's practically the star of this freaking show. We're gonna get probably the only flashback we're gonna get with Hayden is gonna be with her in Order 66. When we're gonna see when he probably saves her.
I was just about to say that. Yeah,
that's all we're gonna get. We're not gonna get a Clone Wars. We're not gonna get one. I have a feeling we're just not, and that's the most.
Well, I feel like we're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna do that. Like, people are saying that Hayden is gonna rescue Reva from Order 66.
Rescue, but let her live.
Right. I think at that point in time, Hayden is on full kill every single Jedi I see mode. So I feel like he's not gonna do that. I think we're gonna see a flashback of Reva watching Hayden kill all her friends, or something's gonna happen to that effect. And then maybe we can, and they mentioned Quinlan Vos, so maybe we'll see maybe Quinlan Vos fighting off Hayden or something, and then they kind of just leave. I don't know, something to the effect where she survives, because there's no way she would have survived that by herself.
We have to know how she knows who Vader is.
Correct, because no one's supposed to know that Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader.
So yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what to expect.
Leia at this point in the story is completely. She's done. It's useless. Why is her character still here? I don't
because
understand.
Of the droid, the Lola.
To Alderaan. But even it's funny. Even before then, when episode 3 ended, and obviously she got captured, I'm like, why are they doing this again? All she had to do, if they would just wrote it where she went back with Obi-Wan, and she was with him while he was healing, and they drop her ass back off to Alderaan. That's it. We're done with her. She is pointless at this point, useless. I don't understand why she's still there. It's like, why are we still with Leia? I mean, I have nothing against her. I think the girl who plays her is great. I have nothing against the girl. She's awesome. I just don't understand why we need to use her character and have her be kidnapped twice.
They really want us to know how Leia was when she was a child. They really want us to know that information.
This episode just was a trope to episode 4. She went through the same events as a little girl as she did in episode 4 in New Hope. Her being captured, interrogated. It's the same thing.
I mean, also,
I forgot. I didn't even tie that. She was tortured just like she was.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Also, what really? This actually was more relevant in the last episode than in this episode. But man, when Darth Vader enters an area and another Force-sensitive person is around that, they feel Darth Vader's presence. Like, it's cold, and Obi-Wan's freaking out. And we see it in Rebels too. Like, it's just when he enters, it's cold, and he's freaking out. Vader probably senses those people as well. Like, he probably gets some sort of, there's definitely a Force-sensitive person here. I'm definitely gonna kill them, or whatever the effect is. You don't think he would have sensed his own daughter? Maybe. Well, he didn't know. He didn't know that it was his daughter, but they were on the same planet at one point, the same exact planet, when she was escaping onto the pilot, and he entered, and the Obi-Wan and him had that shitty fight. They were on the same planet. You don't think that it wasn't something would have sparked, because also we get the scene where the Reva, the Inquisitor, is doing that mind thing with Leia, and Leia's actually resisting.
Right.
That's already a hint that she's already Force sensitive as a young child. You don't think Darth Vader would have sent something?
Well, look, it's all about breaking canon because you're right. At that point, he should have. But remember, in A New Hope, he was face to face with her, and he had no idea that was his daughter because he has no idea that he has kids.
That's also true.
But what bothered me more though was that they made a reference in the Inquisitors that they've been hunting for years Jedi, at either Jedi or Force sensitive people, right? So Reva is in front of Leia trying to read her mind. She can pick up that this child is actually
she even said you're strong.
She's a Skywalker, the strongest bloodline. I mean, so you can pick up on that? Come on, man. This is just the writing is so they're not even trying at this point.
They're not even trying.
It is sad. And then when they're escaping, right? You saw there was X-Wings there. Like, okay, so you just let them escape. You want to chase after them?
Or TIE fighters.
They're TIE fighters. You don't want to chase after them? You got a whole bunch of them right there. Like, what's...
Now the pilots are out back, playing football.
Yeah, they're shooting the shit.
Also, do you know how many times we've seen in Star Wars Force-sensitive people hold a ship with the Force? That's canon, correct?
Yeah. And a little speeder wouldn't be hard.
I mean, we've seen Ahsoka do it. We've seen Rey do it.
Yeah.
We've seen
Rey. Now remember, if we're looking at the story, Rey was supposed to have some serious beef behind her Force powers. When did Ahsoka do it?
She did it in Clone Wars season 7. She was holding back the Darth Maul's ship when he was escaping, and then she couldn't.
Well, at that point, she was like super powerful though too, right? I mean, she was very strong.
Not as powerful as she is in Rebels. This was in Clone Wars, so she wasn't in her Rebels power yet. She was holding and then when this was during Order 66, and she was getting shot by clones, so she really couldn't do anything. Right. She had to survive, so she had to let them all free.
Okay. Oh, okay. I remember what you're talking about now.
No.
Yeah, that's pretty OP when you can pull back a ship with thruster. From what I've seen, it's like there aren't too many who do that.
No.
Yeah.
I think the absolute craziest. You remember what the teaser for Force Unleashed?
Yes, from Star Killer with the
Destroyer. I was like, that's above and beyond. Like that was cool, but like, man, that's reaching. Holy shit!
That's very powerful in the Force. Yeah. I mean, even Darth Maul, when he uses the Force and he crumbles the entire command ship, like the hyperdrive of the command ship for the Rebels. That's like a very powerful like Force user thing that he did, and he didn't even he was protecting himself without a lightsaber. He was just using the Force the whole time against those clone troopers.
That was just cool though. Smalls are cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
He's awesome. I don't care. He's awesome.
It reminds me of a discussion this past week with Matt, the guy on the show, our second or third episode, because he was all about Vader squeezing some necks of the civilians to get Obi-Wan out.
Yeah.
But I said any of these Inquisitors could have done that. Buck and I were kind of the thought that I don't care about the civilians he killed, but it's more about that just seems so beneath Vader. Like he would have been like, minions, walk these streets and kill everyone for me. I'm not gonna get my hands that dirty. Sure, do it. And I said, any one of these guys can do it, or Reva. And he's like, no, they can't. And I was like, yes, they can. I was like, if you can lift steel and throw it or even squish it a little, I think you can handle lifting some meat bags up and squishing flesh with the Force. That's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Seems to be. I mean, I don't know, who knows, but I was just like, I know it's a Vader's thing to squeeze necks.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's something anyone.
I feel like when it comes to that though, I feel like it would have been, well, I don't know what the writers were thinking, but in this case, I feel like it's more of a personal matter for Vader. I feel that's why he kind of wanted to show how powerful he became in front of Obi-Wan.
That was the excuse we were giving him. Like, okay, well, he really thinks we're trying to make it seem like he wouldn't naturally act like this. He's doing this out of pure anger because he can't think straight when he's trying to, when it comes to Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
But I think me and Rhett were arguing with Matt because Matt thinks that's just the way Vader acts all the time. I'm like, no.
And I've heard others say it. Star Wars theory was like, oh, well, that scene was straight up Vader. And I was like, no, I think if it was anyone but Obi-Wan, he would be like, Inquisitors, kill everyone on the street.
Right.
That's your job. Impress me.
Yeah.
Tell me how many you get. Take count. Stuff like that.
What other reason?
Obi-Wan's like, oh, Obi-Wan, you're trying to run? How about I kill that guy?
Right. Yeah, him Vader slashing down a bunch of rebels is something different because those are soldiers going. That's fine. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
But yeah, innocent villagers. I don't know. It was just weird. It felt out of place.
I mean, it felt like Vader. Like to me, it did at least. But he had a personal vendetta for Obi-Wan. That's what I think. That was what drove him the most. to do that.
And that's what made the scene, okay for me, I guess. Like, okay, well, I could wrap my head around the fact that maybe that's why he did it, which was fine. But
he came back with the youngling argument too. It's like, yeah, he was doing that again, a very passionate moment. He
yeah,
just became Vader. Every Jedi, everyone he kills is a notch higher on the dark side, which he feels is going to give him the power he needs to bring Padme back.
Yeah.
Um, right there, it was just sure Darth Vader would kill probably anyone if he felt like it, but because it's the same argument when people are saying, "Oh, well, Obi-Wan was weak, that's why he didn't kill him." What about these schmoes he just rolled over a minute ago? It's like they were as weak as you can get, and
Yeah.
he stopped
Well,
them.
again, I feel like he hadn't seen Obi-Wan in years, so he really didn't know what Obi-Wan's potential was at that point, I guess, until he actually fought him and he said the years made you weak. So again, I think just killing them, just wanted to drag him out, and then when he saw how weak he was like, maybe I don't want to fight you right now. Again, just a theory.
It worked. I think it was fine. It just when people say, "Oh, that's totally Vader," that's what Vader does on any Tuesday. I was like, I don't think so. I think he's more about killing something that matters.
Yeah.
I think the minions kill the plebes.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the technical issues I have with with episode 4 too? Because I don't think it bothers you guys as much as it bothers me, but the directing, the choreography, and the camera work is still bothering me. It's taking away even the music. There's
Shaky
nothing.
cam?
Yeah, that crap.
Run.
When there is a fight scene or when Vader's coming on, like what happened in episode when he started coming on screen again. Here we go, the bouncy screen. I'm like, why? Why did he keep doing that? I feel like I'm watching a college film, that a student film that he's turning into his professor.
Stop.
It looks so cheap, and I'm like, why do they do
The
this?
professor. So
Why is she doing this?
shaky cam? Because the shaky cam makes you more nervous in a scene that's very anxiety filled. Great, you nailed it. Like it's too obvious. Like, yes, I get it. We're in a shaky. It's scary.
Yeah, man.
You use the shaky cam for that. You can't just tell the story and make us nervous.
It looks so. I get what they're trying to do, but at the same time, it looks so amateurish, and it takes away from the scene. It really does. It takes me out completely. I'm like, why? I don't like this at all. It's terrible. And then the soundtrack. Where's the score in this? Where's the emotional score that you're supposed to be getting into when you're like, oh my gosh.
So where's the Star Wars
stuff.
score? Where's the Star
Wars score, man? Like, where is it? Where is it?
Yeah.
Like
it's nothing.
I mean, Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. I mean, we have nothing here. I feel like we have literally nothing here.
Yeah, it's a shame.
I feel like Boba Fett didn't have a theme, did he?
Who?
No, he kind of did. That.
Yeah, Boba Fett.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you're right. That was cool. Yeah. And that was the ongoing theme throughout it. You're right. You're right.
I mean, Obi-Wan has a theme too, but for the life of me, I can't even think about it. I don't know how it goes. It's not memorable.
It's a little derived from the prequels, because I kind of heard it. I was like, oh, I see where. And it was John Williams who did that piece of it.
Yeah.
But he did not. He's not scoring the rest of it. It's another fella scoring the rest of that show, which clearly you can tell. Because the one thing that did stick out was, that must be Obi-Wan's theme. Everything after that. Everything after episode 1 with Owen Lars and seeing that little Luke, all the good stuff, and then that last shot of Vader at the end of 2, that was kind of like where it peaked for me.
Yeah, me too. I love the first episode. I thought the first episode was great.
I agree.
I mean, just Obi-Wan's interaction with Owen Lars. I'm like, I want to see more of that stuff. I want to see more of that deep interaction, that dialogue that's like we connect with. There's not much dialogue throughout the show at all after that. It is, and especially in this episode, there's nothing building. I don't even know what's going on in Obi-Wan's head much. He's not really saying much of anything.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, it's really something to take Obi-Wan Kenobi, who was like a great Star Wars character, like probably one of our favorites, and like someone who was, sarcastic, and he was smart, like he was a smart ass to Anakin. It was just seeing that relationship with Obi-Wan. Obviously, he's at a much darker place now in his days, but he's on a mission. He's he's just bland. How can they turn Obi-Wan Kenobi into a bland character? It's upsetting. It really is.
And it's funny because they obviously played in the story that he didn't know Anakin was Vader. He just found this out, and honestly, I feel like they haven't explored that enough. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
go deeper into that, man. That I mean, it's the perfect way to go back to Clone Wars flashback and more more stuff in the relationship that we didn't even get to see in the Clone
I
Wars.
said it earlier. That deleted
Like,
scene.
what do you right?
That
Like
deleted
that scene
scene
you're talking
would have been
about.
a perfect place to have that little flashback or something. That connection between Anakin and
right?
Obi-Wan.
Why bring back Hayden? Why bring him back if you're not going to explore that? Like it's such a lost opportunity.
It really is.
Yeah.
I don't understand. It just it kills me.
FaceTime, but it's not going to be till the end. I guess they think, oh well, we can't bring that to the end because this will be our big
Yeah.
thing everyone's going to want to
That
watch.
last episode better be at least an hour, at least.
Oh please! I
Oh,
doubt it.
this one today was ridiculous.
29
30
minutes technically.
29 minutes technically. Yeah, he said it. Yeah. These last two episodes, for it to bring it back to where this show could be saved story wise, these two episodes need to be at least 2 hours long each. Because honestly, from what I've seen so far, this thing could have been a 2 hour movie. From what I've seen so far, it hasn't given much of anything so far.
You're right.
So I don't. 4 episodes in, this could have been a movie.
You're right.
And it probably would have been better in a movie because the budget would have been better because obviously they've been cheaping it. It's like they're afraid to spend money on this.
We could have watched it in one sitting, to be honest.
Yeah.
It did not have to be 6 episodes.
Today, I don't know where I saw it. I found out today that this show had half the budget of Mandalorian. How can that be?
Wow.
Why? You have Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor, and Hayden reprising the roles, and you gave this show with only 6 episodes half the budget of Mandalorian.
Wow. I didn't know that.
That's crazy to me. I'm like, wow, how?
How are they gonna do that? Wow, that's really bad.
Yeah.
No one is coming, Leia.
No. He said it just like him too. No one's coming, Leia.
Calm down. Yeah, there could have been a better take. Why can no one takes from these days?
That felt like old prequels, like George Lucas take. All right, we got it. We had it first try.
One take, good. I think we got it.
And Buck, you mentioned something about a possibility for a season 2.
Oh, and that's again, I think that's where they're heading because, see, unfortunately, it doesn't matter what we think. The numbers for the show have been above and beyond amazing. So
the reviews have been good.
Yeah, I mean,
not the audience score. Okay.
Well, no, the audience score again. I hear it's been sabotaged by geeks and whatever because of the whole Reva thing and whatever.
It's a shame what they're doing to her because it's really not her fault. It's just a directing.
No, I'm not. But here's the thing. I don't like when they turn this around though because we have a legitimate excuse not to like a character if we don't want to. If it's not written well, I'm not going to sit here and be like, okay, yeah, I like her because she's a woman. I'm not. It's not about that. The character is not written well. She's not a likable character. It's not. I have not. They concentrate so much on her character, and I don't know much about her character at all. It's nothing. So I have reasons not to like her.
Yeah.
So people picking on her because she's a black actress and everything. That's horrible. Yeah. Those people are horrible. They need to just go away and die. But her character isn't written well. It just isn't. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. You're right. I mean,
it's Obi-Wan. It's an Obi-Wan series.
Yes, I was just about to say that. Yeah,
she's basically taking his place, and she's not even written well.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, they brought in a character that no one knew, and they focused on her on a show called Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like it's what do they expect?
Yeah. That's not our fault. It's not her fault.
It's not her fault.
It's purely directing's fault. It's
yeah.
I'm speechless for it because it's a shame. It's a damn shame because if they were going to bring in a new character, they should have done it on something else. They should have done it on an Inquisitor show, or no one would want that, but it's a more appropriate place to put it. It's literally false advertising if you think about it.
It is because this show was pitched as the rematch of the century. It was going to be about Obi-Wan and Vader.
Yes. Absolutely.
Ewan and Hayden coming back.
Correct.
And that was going to be the center of the story.
Mm-hmm.
And 4 episodes in, we don't even know what Hayden's doing.
Yep.
Like, what is he in that suit? I guess he is because we don't see much of him at all. So
It wouldn't matter if he was or wasn't.
it wouldn't matter if he was. So yeah, man. It's funny. Last week we're all like, how we feel about the series. We're all about the same. We're like here, and that the next episode was going to determine where it was going to go. And
Now it's about here. We were a little above average. Now we're about like. I mean, actually, like I'm starting to dip a little further.
My rating has gone from a 6 to a 4 right now.
Yeah,
yeah,
I could 6 to a 4. I'll go with a 5 right now, even though it probably deserves a 4. But a 5 is a very low score.
I'm at a very solid 4.
I mean, I don't know what we're in for the next 2 episodes, if they're going to be amazing or not, but I felt this episode left such a horrible stain because it was just so unnecessary that if you look at the series as a whole, when it's wrapped up, I don't, no matter how good the next 2 episodes are, I can't really say that this show was
good.
Run.
Yeah, because the majority of the show was not good.
Yeah, I mean, we're not getting what we thought what we were going to get, and and what we're getting isn't even good. What we're putting out,
it's like sloppy, saying
it's horrible.
It's like saying Game of Thrones is a good series, even though the last season still exists. It's not a good show anymore because of the last season. It ruins it. It's just,
it sucks because it really started strong. It really did, and it went nowhere. It's gone nowhere.
Yeah.
It's sad. We all talked about this. This should be epic. It should have given you that epic quality feel. It should have at least felt like the quality of the cinematic feel the sequels had.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. If you're gonna,
we all agree that the sequels, good acting, good visuals, the music hit. I mean, Ray's theme is great to me.
Yeah,
I love.
You're not wrong.
Kylo's theme I like too. But man, the story was nowhere. Here it's like we've got none of that. We don't even have a good story or good looking visuals.
You're absolutely right.
And it's
nothing.
It's our lead heroes, the best actors we should have in this thing, and it's like you're just not giving it its due credit.
Yeah, it's if you're gonna announce a show and work on a show that is with 2 of the most important characters of all of Star Wars, put some effort. Half the budget of Mandalorian, that's horrible. And Mando was a new character, and we love his show. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what that means? Because the numbers are good. We might be getting the sequel. Hey, we did this one with half the budget as Mandalorian. Why are we spending more money than we need to? And we're bringing them in with half the money. This is the budget we need from here on out. They're going to start budgets on this thing.
You're right. Yep. I didn't even think about that.
I didn't think about that either. Horrible. That's bad.
Holy crap.
How much are they paying Ewan and Hayden? It can't be that much.
It can't be.
You know?
Yeah.
No wonder they're phoning it in.
Unless half their budget went to Ewan.
I mean, what's Hayden getting paid for? 1 episode? like 30 seconds of screen time in a back to take?
Reba probably gets a more paycheck than he does.
Most likely. Yeah. 100%.
Well, she's more of a presence in the show.
The fifth brother is more of a presence than Hayden Christensen. Like it's a shame.
Guest star Hayden Christensen. That's how it needs to wrap up the credits.
Also starting Hayden Christensen.
Also with
yeah, I just don't understand how they wouldn't hire anyone like a more experienced director or who would take on a project like this. See, that's why I think nobody wanted to take this on, because not even Dave Filoni, because he's smart. He's like, I'm not touching this. Are you kidding me? I'm not touching this character.
Man, I wish he did.
I wish he did, but he's not dumb, because he knows like it's a very, very tricky time, especially in the canon. That's like, man, you could really screw shit up if you don't do it right, and that's what's happening. So it's almost safer not to touch it and leave it alone if that's the case, because if you're gonna ruin it, that's what we're talking about, because that's how dangerous this show is. Because if it turns out bad, it could really ruin more of what we love about Star Wars from here on out, and that's not great. Because now I'm not looking for any other projects now, because now I'm scared. I'm like, man,
I'm telling you, you don't want to look forward to it just to say I wish it never existed now.
Yeah.
And it sucks because look, I liked when I saw I don't remember which episode of Mandalorian it was Deborah Chow did, but I remember looking for who's the director on this one. That was a good one. And I was like, Deborah Chow, huh? So when they said she did, I was like, oh, she did some good episodes.
Yeah.
So it's just weird how it's not the same. And we said the same thing, Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
A cool episode of Mandalorian, and then they give him his own show, and it just didn't work out very well.
It's it's just a weird thing because I feel like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are the only ones that could actually look over a project, either a series or a movie, that we are okay with. Like, okay, that's in good hands. But it kind of sucks also because I think they're afraid to go. Well, not that they're afraid of, but we're afraid to trust anyone else with Star Wars because no one else has really been successful at it.
Just look
And
at
it's like
their.
there's got to be other people out there, right, that care, that actually know the lore, but they don't know of anyone else really. So it's like,
I mean, think of that episode he did with Filoni did with Ahsoka. The first time we saw a live action Ahsoka,
yeah,
it was such a good episode.
Yeah.
I
oh
felt
god,
like
it was
this is
so
the best.
great.
It was
That
like a
whole second
cinematic.
season was so great. Yeah,
God,
that episode was so good. Oh yeah,
they should have had Filoni on Obi-Wan because imagine getting that caliber story and
They probably would have
concentration
had a
and
higher budget too.
care for the
yeah,
character, better budget.
Filoni, Favreau, if they both would have worked on it, man, just it would have been
yeah.
God,
great.
it sucks.
It
It sucks
sucks.
too because it started out giving when we saw Owen and how well he did, it was like this is good. Like that, I was the one with the doubt out of the three of us, I think, because I was so disappointed that Obi-Wan did not leave Luke in the care of somebody.
Yeah.
He just left him with Owen.
And
So I had,
now it's just like a plethora of problems combined.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I was like, I could look past that because I bet it's a plot hole they're going to address later, and Luke is going to be in trouble. Obi-Wan has to save him. But I was like, everything else I see seems really good, and I'm feeling all right about this. And as soon as I let my guard down, is when episode 3 happened, and now 4 even worse. So.
Even 2, I was even worried after 2, to be honest, because
We had some funny things.
I mean,
but
two was weird, but I still was like,
Inquisitor,
okay, the ending was like solid,
not even the Grand Inquisitor dying was not solid.
Well, no, but him finding out that Vader is actually Anakin.
Yeah,
that was actually okay.
That was good, but it was
cool
Reva
little...
who told him. Why does she know who Anakin is?
Yeah, I said, yeah, you're right. Well, you know what? That's the thing. This series is posing a bunch of questions. Like, this is a story for another time. There's like 5 of them already that they put on here. That I wonder if we're gonna get any closure to any of them.
Probably not.
Sequel,
probably not anytime soon. Yep.
I don't know.
Where'd you get that lightsaber? It's a story for another time. Never happens.
Yeah,
worst answer ever. Hate that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about Obi-Wan having a second season either, because again, it's
For what?
going...
Yeah, what are we telling at this point?
Yeah, I mean, if it's not Luke in Tatooine the rest of the way, there's nothing to tell, because I can't imagine him leaving again. The whole point of this, him leaving, was an exceptional thing happening. It was Leia. Okay, we'll get that. And he didn't know that Vader was Anakin. Okay, now he knows. So now him leaving Tatooine at all would just be beyond ridiculous at this point.
Why? If anything, it's like
he shouldn't have left at all. But
only, yeah.
I don't even think they're gonna go back to Tatooine. They Reva, somehow she had the time to put a tracker on the droid. Which, when did she do that? And I feel
she was playing with it, remember?
Yeah, she was playing with it.
Yeah,
but I feel like Leia would have seen her put a tracker in there. She was with her the whole time, was she not?
Yeah.
Well, it gave us some backstory to her because she owned a droid. She owned a droid at one point,
And it was taken from her. Cool.
That was important.
Very important.
Now I get it.
Well, now that they track the droid, they're gonna intercept the ship, and then it's gonna be the whole thing over again.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen. Episode 5.
Something hit me that when they said they had the T-47s or whatever, I can't remember the name of the snow speeders.
Yeah.
And he was like, I wonder if Obi-Wan's gonna get behind the stick again, and do a little flying, because he did a lot of that in the prequels and Clone Wars.
He didn't like it though.
Like,
he wasn't huge on flying.
Yeah.
He wasn't a big flyer.
No.
Yeah, you're right. But I was like, maybe that's something that I wasn't expecting that would have been cool, and that didn't happen. Instead, we got Wade and I don't know, Karen.
Yeah.
Well,
all right. Well,
I guess that's
here we are.
Decent place to wrap up.
So we went from there to
I'm here. 4.
Ooh, yeah. There it is.
For Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You're giving it a 4. Honestly, I'm going to give it a 3.
Wow.
This last episode brought it way down.
Way down for you.
It should have been an important episode. It really should. And it was just a wasted filler episode. There was no need for a filler episode.
You're absolutely right.
6-part series. What? No.
Yeah,
No.
You're right. Only reason I didn't give it a 3 is because I liked the subtle Jedi Fallen Order Easter eggs, but that's it. That's really all I cared for.
But again, it was all just Easter eggs. I don't even think we're gonna see Quinlan Voss. Honestly,
No.
I think it's just a name drop.
No, of course
just
not.
A name drop.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna leave nothing.
No.
Ain't nothing.
Maybe that's why they're going to season 2 now. They realize their missed opportunity.
They're getting a season 2 because they realize the fan base hates it and they want to fix it in the next season.
No. Oh, no. That's not it. It's because it's still because it's still it's making money. It has the viewership and it has everything that they need to make a second season. That's all. It has nothing to do with whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
People are watching the show. So look. Even if we us, the people that don't like it, we're still watching it.
We have to.
We're still
we have to.
We're still watching it. But that's all they care about. They don't care if we really like it or not. They just care that we're tuning in again. They're putting in, little Leia because she's a selling point. She's like Grogu. I'm like, oh man, this little girl. They love this little girl. We're gonna keep her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's have her kidnapped 4 more times. Let's have Obi-Wan go and rescue her again. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's a good place to stop for now. Obi-Wan season 4. I'm sorry, episode 4.
Season 4.
Season 1. They're never gonna get season 4. Season 1, episode 4. Humongous letdown, and the show as a whole has just been a huge disappointment for us all.
Episode 4 brought it down. Yeah, it really did.
Well, we're probably not gonna talk about it next week. Well, we might talk about it for like a little bit.
We probably will.
Yeah, but it won't be our main topic. It'll be Jurassic World will be our main topic.
We'll come back.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, let's see if it doesn't change.
We'll see. Depends what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
We're the worst fans.
We are the worst fans.
We are the worst fans.
Well, thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
All right.
Adios.
Bye.
Later.